Hello, everyone. My name is Virginia Prodan. I'm the host of Courageous Leadership with Virginia Prodan. I'm welcome you back to our podcast every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 o'clock Central Time on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcast, Edifi Podcast Network, and of course, you can watch it on on the YouTube channel. I want to thank you so very much, not only for returning to our podcast, but also for sending us your questions. So today I'm going to answer your question that many of you ask me how to deal with being overwhelmed, especially this year, or because you start a new job, or you continue a new job, or you have your business, or because you are a new mom, or you're a new dad, or whatever situation might be in your life. Being overwhelmed and how to rise up from being overwhelmed to an overcomer is a journey. Being overwhelmed is becoming part of our daily life. Um, it's causing stress and anxiety for many people. In today's fast paced world, as we have access to so many information just by touching a button, or we are never too far away from email, from iPhone, from messages, from social media. We can feel overwhelmed. We are also have an opportunity to establish high goals and aspiration for us like never before, even though with the situation, inflation, and other things that we experience right now, um, we might have to adjust those, but still we feel overwhelmed and we want to relax. I want you to take a deep breath and let's start learning to rise up from being overwhelmed to become an overcomer. I will share with you a few steps that you can take to rise up from being overwhelmed to become an overcomer. If after this podcast you need more help, please go to virginiaprodanbooks.com/contact. Tell us your needs and we will help you. But for right now, here is your outline. I would outline for you the 6 key components of rising from being overwhelmed to being an overcomer. Being overwhelmed includes 6 areas of our life. To understand how to rise up from overwhelming to person to an overcomer, you need to understand those 6 components of being overwhelmed. Number one is unrealistic expectations. When you have high and strict expectation from you or from others, or you set up very challenging goals, this will put you under unnecessary extra pressure for you and for your business too. It creates additional stress, and if you don't achieve your goals, you will feel as a failure. Number two, take too much of you. Take too much on your plate. You just want to do so much that everything is just so overwhelming. The problem is that you don't know how to say no to others. Saying no makes you feel guilty. Um, you could be rejected, you think, if you say no, and you feel guilty for that. By saying yes to so many things, you create frustration and resentment to you and to others because you put too much on your plate. You realize that you are not following your dreams, with somebody else's dreams, taking too much, you stop achieving your goals or following your own path by taking too much or not saying no to others. This doesn't feel good inside. It's often worse when the feeling of guilt of saying no to other people might create judgment in your mind. But you have to stay on your goals and say no to what is not important to you. Number three, perfectionist. Boy, many of us are perfectionists. We believe that everything that comes out of our work finished product has to be perfectly, and we feel we spend so much time and we feel like it's not good enough to let it go. Um, you felt less time. You have less time for other things on your to-do list, and you feel even more overwhelmed because you are a perfectionist and you think that everything should be perfect. This perfectionist tendency often comes from a critical self-talk. You talk with yourself, and for that reason you need to respond to that inner voice in your mind. You have to learn to love yourself and to give yourself place to grow. Listen less to that critical um, self-talk, and gradually you will ignore it. You will look more at the opportunity and opportunities that you have to grow. This will reduce the stress, will stop the need to do everything perfect. You might not get rid of your perfectionist approach tomorrow, but gradually you will be able to do it. Number four, being unable to relinquish control. This is something is because you wanted to do everything yourself. And that might be because you don't trust others. Maybe you had experience, you know better than anyone else. You had experience with others that haven't done um, your work the way you wanted, or betrayed you, or it took too much time for you to explain to someone, and at the end you had to do it on your own, or you believe that no one else to do can do the job as good as you can do. Believe me, if you relinquish that control, you will discover that there are people that will be able to do it better than you, and they will be able to give you advice in that area and doing it in such a way that you never thought that can be done. It's a trust problem. It's a trust issues in some areas. I don't want to blame you that you don't trust people. Like I said, you might have had experience with people that didn't accomplish the task, did a very bad job, started and mess up everything. At the end, you had to do it on your own. As a result, you struggle to delegate to other people different jobs, and you decide to do it for yourself, and that leads to a mountain of tasks, things that you have to do, that you believe that you can do it. And guess what? More tasks equal greater overwhelming on your side. So, in one way or another, you have to let it go, that control. And if you want, keep track and see how well you did, how well others did, and let the progress start. And be patient with yourself and be patient with others. And at the end, you will accomplish amazing things. And the overwhelming feeling will go away gradually. Number five, Identify yourself as an overcomer. I know it's very hard many times to look at ourselves and say, I will take an assignment. I will look and see the good things that I do and the bad things that I do that I can improve. Not necessarily bad, but things that overwhelms you. Being an achiever, especially in our Western civilization, makes many people feel special and maybe even proud. Being busy in our, our culture, many equalize that with being productive, but many times it's not the case. Your extensive list of past achievement and your future goals makes you stand up from the crowd, you might think. And that really can make you overwhelmed. And that can even take the joy of what you really enjoy doing it. And you have to be honest with yourself, because what you are doing, you don't criticize yourself, you give yourself an opportunity to grow. And we all grow. There is nothing, no area in our life where we cannot improve, we cannot make it better, or others can come alongside of us and make it powerful for us and take that overwhelming away from us and be an overcomer. And you know what? We can influence others by doing that. I bet people in your life, people in your business, people in your community, in your church, and who knows, people around the world. But if living up to those expectations, over achievements, will bring you stress and continue to keep you overwhelmed, that is not something that you want. That is not something that you will continue. It's like and you still want to do it. You still want to continue this this process. Is insanity. It's a description of insanity. To help reduce the stress, you will start feeling more relaxed when you let go of this overachievement. Your value is not in accomplishing everything, standing up or standing out to the crowd. You already have a value. You are a wonderful person. You have skills and talent unique. There is never going to be another person like you. God never creates copies, just originals. You are an original. You are created for amazing things. The skills and talents that you have in your life, if you use them, will give you a purpose that is unique to you, that you do not have to be an overachiever. You are already an amazing person. So forget about being an overachiever, because you are already a special one, and start to relax and to be happy and to do the things that you are already created to do. You have skills and talents, and take your focus on on your path, on your goals, and achieve them no matter what others will say about you or ask you to do. You and God working together can achieve amazing things. Number 6, putting too much pressure on yourself. Many times we want to do things on our own. I'm a Christian, as many of you know, And we all know that Christ said, apart from me, you can do nothing. You know, apart from Christ, if we do things on our own, we accomplish nothing. But with Christ, we are more than conquerors. He will open doors for us. He will give us, train us, and prepares us for every task that He puts on our path. So we will bear fruits, and our work will be eternal work. Our legacy will be a legacy that will influence people long before we will be gone. So often comes this putting too much pressure on us because, again, we want to do things on our own. Sometimes we realize that, sometimes we don't even realize. We, as Christians, sometimes we come to God with a to-do list or pray and ask God to bless us what we want to do. We don't ask God, is this your will? And that puts pressure on us. Sometimes you ask, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not good enough to finish this or to accomplish this? Why does it all have to be done right now? And that indeed overwhelms you and makes you even not enjoy the work that you just few months ago enjoyed doing it. So again, putting too much pressure on you and not seeking God's will keep you overwhelmed. So seek God's will, ask Him to give you the steps, and you will go from overwhelmed to overcomer. Just knowing your own ways and steps, it's not enough. Information serve a little purpose in what we have to do, but taking actions, it's important. And because we take actions on our own and not on God's directions, that can keep us overwhelmed. So take information from God, directions from Him, take actions according to His will to raise from overwhelmed to overcomer. If you want to be fully trained on this, please go to virginiaprodanbooks.com/contact. Tell us your need and we will help you. The rewards of working with us is that you will start your journey of raising up from being overwhelmed to an overcomer. Then that will change your life, will improve your leadership skills and results, and move you and your business to an upper level and much, much more. I'm here to help you and to move you from overwhelmed to overcomer and to give you a life of success and a victory, not only in your own life, but in your job, in your business, in your family, and your life and your business will touch and reach lives all over the world. And with the changing that we have in our lives together, not only in America, but all over the world, with the economical situation, with the persecution all over the world, and even manifested in America, it is very important for us to learn not to be overwhelmed, but to become an overcomer. For many of you that read my book, and for those of you who don't know, Saving My Assassin is, like I said, you can buy the book at our website, virginiaprodanbooks.com/product/book. My book, Saving My Assassin, is my memoir, and will, I hope, It's an example, my memoir, it's an example to you of what how God guided me even under persecution in Romania and here in America, coming to a new land and a new situation, empty handed, no money, no friends, no nothing. God helped me to be not overwhelmed, but an overcomer and to follow Him and to let Him change my life and change lives around me. In Romania, God helped me to fight against a dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu, who declared himself God and required all of us to worship him alone. By the grace of God, I took him to court and asked him to respect human and religious rights. And for that, I was beaten, tortured, arrested, placed under house arrest, and I was so close to being executed by my assassin who came to my office to kill me. But by the grace of God, I shared the gospel with him and he became my brother in Christ. And you can read more in my memoir, Saving My Assassin, because he wrote a chapter in my book and what God is doing now. And now in America, I I went back to law school. I learned English first. I went back to law school, this time at SMU Law School here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm an ally attorney, an Alliance Defender Freedom. And I defend freedom in America and speak all over the world. I have a podcast and I train people to live a courageous, successful, and significant life in Christ. And you can do the same. If you need any help, go to virginiaprodanbooks.com and slash contact and tell us what you need and we will help you. Until our next podcast, Wednesday and Saturday at 10 o'clock Central Time on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcast, and Edifi Podcast Network, and you can watch it on YouTube channel. I hope you will continue to send us your questions, your comments, and we will be more than happy to train you. We also train people individually and as a group. We train CEOs and people from all over the world. We love to train you too. Be blessed and remember there is a journey from overwhelmed to overcomer. If you follow those steps, you will be able to be an overcomer. But you have to have patience with you. You will have setbacks. You will have good days and bad days. And if you need help, do not hesitate to contact us. We will help you. We love to move you from overwhelmed to overcomer. Be blessed and God bless you and keep in contact. Bye bye.